Hey, man.
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Not too bad. How are we doing?
Not bad, not bad.
Thanks again for agreeing to do this.
Yeah, for sure. One sec, I'm just gonna. There, just shutting the thing off.
No problem. Yeah, so like I was saying, we had troubles last time. The audio just cut out. So this time I have two ways of recording. I got the regular camera, the laptop camera, and I have a legit Canon. So
Oh, nice.
we are totally covered this time.
Perfect. That's awesome.
Anyway,
Yeah, no, that's sucked that kind of happened, but I'm more than down to do another interview, so it's pretty cool.
I really appreciate it. And the guys got really stoked whenever they heard that, like, I can actually do this interview and we can get it going for the class. They were really excited. So why don't
Yeah,
you
for sure.
let us know who you are?
So my name's Quinn Hall. I'm from. Well, I've lived in Brantford, Ontario for a long time. I was born in Brantford. And then I kind of just lived out in the boonies, out closer near Woodstock, Ontario. And then, yeah, I was always like a sporty kid, very athletic, very into, like, I guess, skillful things like hacky sack yo-yos and stuff when I was a kid anyway. So it's just funny that this fell into my lap in a sense. But yeah, a very sporty kid, and I come across Kendama about 4 or 5 years ago, just through a couple of vloggers and stuff on YouTube, like Adam22 from No Jumper. That was pretty cool. I know there's a lot of controversy with that in the scene and whatnot, but there's always going to be some controversy once the scene's getting larger as well, as it is. So.
Absolutely. And you respect where it's due. I think Adam has pushed Kendama a lot. So there is a whole chapter dedicated to like just him and No Jumper.
Yeah, for sure. So but yeah, that's how I kind of got into it, was through him and whatnot. And yeah, it was really, really, really cool. It was I was kind of on and off for about 2 years, and then I got into it because a work colleague saw me playing it. About at the time, I was about to quit. I was literally about to go cold turkey and just throw the dama away.
Oh wow!
Because I was playing with like dollar store kendamas, and funny, because I did say this in the other interview. How I actually got a kendama was being at a buddy's house, and my buddy's mother was just at a yard sale and found just like a traditional kendama, and got it. And she knew that I was one of those like skilled type people, sporty and whatnot, that when I was at the house, she just was like, "Hey Quinn, I think this is something you would like."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Are you serious?" Like, I literally saw a vlogger show this on YouTube about 2 weeks ago. I wanted to get one, and I just turned my brain off for the 2 weeks until she gave me one. I was like, wow, this is really cool. So, but yeah, 2 years on and off with that I would say crappy kendama, but you got to start somewhere for sure. Like, I'm happy I started with something like that.
Me too.
So
I wish I could just break it out, but I had my first one still, and it's the base cup on it. For those of you who don't know, the base cup on it is like the size of a hammer, and then then everything else is just dialed down to like the smallest it could be, with the weirdest shaped ball. It looks like an apple.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
What we've upgraded to now, it's impressive.
It's huge, and no, I totally understand you. My one friend brought me a Bilbo K, like the really old version of Kendama, just because she was like, "You're that kind of skill toy guy." I'm like,
yeah,
yeah,
really cool, really sweet.
So would you say that kind of stuff inspires you, like going off into other types of kendamas? Because there's pills, I always like to trade it up, do something different.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm really happy again. Like with I saw Terra Kendama shortly after No Jumper show, like who he showed Wyatt Bray, and I was like into Kendama USA a little bit, but didn't really. I was not on Instagram at all when I first saw Kendama, like to the point where I was knowing there was a scene or a community. So I just looked online and stuff, but I don't know how, but I found Terra Kendama, and saw that they had the pill. Yeah. And I got into the pill because my one buddy who saw Kendama, and he revamped it and revamped me into it again, because like I said, I almost quit, but he got into it hard by it. He ordered some Grain Theory Kendamas and gave me a Roku, and he got the Stitch, because it was a Roku and Stitch pack.
Yeah.
And it was game over from there. But then, yeah, I guess from there I was looking, and I found Tara, and I showed my buddy Tara, who got me the Stitch, and he right away he ordered Tara stuff. He ordered a couple pills and stuff like that, like the jumbo one.
Oh man!
And then he gifted it to me. I have it outside in the shed. But like, yeah, like I love other type of skill toys for sure. Like I haven't got into like, what do they call them? Like the knifing, like people that do like, it starts with a B, I'm pretty sure. Bell song.
Yeah.
Bell song is what it's called. But like, yeah, like nothing like that, because to me, that's dangerous. But I guess people would see me with a kaiju. So that's one. Like kaiju, it's not like just a standard size. Like,
no, like that's... yeah, he's probably got his too. Like that's deadly. Yeah.
I got 3 or 4. So, but like I just love them. Like
they're so nice.
Workout. And like I get it to a lot of people I've seen at events and stuff that they're like, I can't even hold it for longer than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
To see people like, I'm not gonna say just me, but like there's Kendama Franklin online, who he pretty much just plays with kaijus right now. And then there's Franz, six black Kendama.
He's really good.
My God, he's amazing. So like, and like people look at those guys and it's like, how are they doing that? Like, but at the same time, it's a good workout. It's a very good workout.
Oh my goodness, it is. You'd swear my one arm is way bigger than the other.
yeah, for sure.
So,
but I even have like tiny Kendamas, like the ones that like to test your skill that way too. So yes, to back onto like different skill toys. It's fun to branch out.
Yeah, 100%. Expands your mind,
for sure.
So I know I said we would be doing a lot of the same, or we kind of predicted we'd be doing a lot of the same questions, but I threw in at least 2 different ones to kind of throw you off. So this one is kind of interesting. Would you say Kendama is a form of communication? So an example would be like, for me, I go to somewhere like Chinatown and I can't speak to anybody, but I see someone else playing Kendama and I can be like, you and me, we can jam for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely really cool to actually say that, because right after we got off our call at the jam, there were a couple people who came to the jam that were literally just people who saw us playing and didn't know what it was. But there was this one girl who was from Japan, and she was deaf.
Oh.
So and she couldn't communicate with us properly either, because like she could speak pure Japanese, but she was deaf as well. So like we had to communicate with her as much as we could, but we were playing Kendama with her, and like we gave her one, and she was doing how she plays is complete traditional. She does the moshi kami. She was doing like 100 moshi kami that like the whole time she was with us.
That's awesome.
But it was really cool because we were able to communicate with her, because she gravitated towards it, because she's from Japan. She saw that skill toy that she has in her hometown, like where she was from, and she thought to come and hang out with us. And she hung out with us for a good like 45 minutes. It was pretty cool.
See, that's awesome. That's exactly like the answer I was looking for there. That's perfect.
Yeah, it's really cool that like you got that question out there after the interview that didn't work out. So it's funny that really worked out.
Yeah, no kidding, eh? That's perfect. Well, we'll come back to an easy one. Well, not really easy. Kind of deep. How would you describe Kendama's relationship with stress?
Yeah, that one I really liked. So it really resonated with me, and I still remembered that one pretty much. And like the answers I had, it definitely helps a lot towards stress, but it definitely can make it worse for sure, depending on what you're going through. But personally, and I've talked to a lot of people, and I feel like it's the same with a lot of people, is like if you're going through some crappy stuff or like whatever, it tends, like Kendama tends to like just like blanking the slate, blanking the mind. Like you completely just like drop everything and you just just play and have fun, and it seems to just cool everything out and chill everything out. But again, though, if you're going through some really crazy stuff and you're like going through some like grind stress as well, like there's some players out there that are trying to get some crazy tricks. And if they're having some stressful times and they still want to play and thinking it's going to make them relaxed, it can make them way more stressed for sure. Like, but that's just where you gotta like really, what do you got? What's the word? Rationalize things and be like, hey, maybe I should put the Dama down and like get back into real life and like get that figured out first. Or if Dama is a stress reliever, then yeah, go to that. And if, for me, it's a definite stress reliever for sure, like 100%.
No, it's very healthy, and like absolutely, there have been times where I find I'm completely off in the Dama zone, the hone zone, and just completely forget where I am, and I have
Yeah,
to realize like there's shit around me I need to do. There's like I got cats to take care of.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, like we all have a life. Yeah, like we all have families and stuff. And even if we don't have little families of our own, we still are building towards a future, right? So like it is nice to play kendama all the time, but it's good to definitely do other things for sure.
Yeah.
But but if for real, like if I'm going, I'm not going through some crazy stuff, but if I'm just like it's mostly at work, and a lot of people comment at when I'm at work. I post a lot of videos at work because, like, on my break, like that's usually the times I get to play, and so like it's like it's stressful too at sometimes, but like it really makes me feel good because somehow I'm lacing tricks here and there because I only got a short span of time during my break to actually do some tricks I want to do. So I almost kind of forced myself to push some bangers out, which I've succeeded a couple times at work, and I've had people almost be inspired by that, being like, wow, that's really cool that you're playing at work like all the time, like if you were playing out in your backyard or in a field or something. And I'm just like, yeah, like it's moving, it helps me, it's definitely a stress reliever for sure.
Oh my goodness, yes, I completely agree. Because at my most recent job at the ONR, I same thing. That short time period of that little window that gives you so much time, and then I don't even realize I'm lacing things. I don't realize I'm actually sticking the ball. I'm finally
Yeah,
getting this trick that in my mind should be way harder, but I just did it on my lunch break.
because it's like, all right, let's get this, let's bang it out. If it happens, whatever. If it doesn't, whatever. Like, and then it tends to flow. The flow happens. That's why I love the word flow. Like, you tend to just go with the flow, or like go flowy instead of being stressed and like staggered and all like tense. That's not gonna work. So just be flowy, and like in life too. Like, it's always good to be that way mentally.
Be water, my friend.
Yes, yes, sure. I like, yes, exactly.
How has the scene progressed or maybe changed since you've entered?
Yeah, it's definitely changed a lot, and like it can be, it's like it's a double-edged sword. There's positive and negatives to it. With more people involved, I think that's where like the Adam 22 thing got involved very strongly because a lot of people had opinionated thoughts on what's happened there, and valid, but at the same time, it, it's a ball and cup. We're here to have fun, and with a lot of people getting into it, though, it's really cool to see like that there's like collectives and crews and more clothing companies and more like straight up just like burning not companies but people who like burn damas and burn tamas and stuff like that. Like, I have a buddy in Vancouver and BC, named Chris. His account is Spoon Burns, and he's killing it. And it's just like, been only playing for about a year, but like that's just it. Like, there's within the past like 5 years I've been into it, there's been at easily like personally that I know 100 or so people that have been getting into it and sticking to it, and it's really cool to see that.
For me, there's even people in like the shadows that kind of keep it closeted to themselves and don't even post. They don't tell people they do it. They just collect and build this skill that they're never going to
Yeah.
share. So I do a little YouTube channel where I showcase all my friends that maybe don't either have the courage or the time to put together a video. And
Hmm.
I kind of love what you said there. It's just a ball and cup. Like, don't
Yep.
take it too seriously. These video projects that we work on, they're never, final. they have to happen. It's never anything like
Yep.
that. And
No,
no.
nothing's ever finished.
Oh my gosh, like the amount of times I wish I could just combine videos because I want to mix this with this, and you can't. Yeah. But no, that's really insightful, honestly, because I think I joined at a kind of not controversial, but maybe like an interesting time in Kendama when the pandemic first hit and things were
Yep.
really spiking. Like I remember Sweets was
Yep.
putting out things like left and right, and they introduced the boost, and things really picked up for them. That was huge.
Yep.
And
Yeah, that was a crazy time.
it was because I had to pass the time somehow and do something different other than just skating all the time.
Yeah, and is that what you were doing before Dama, before you got into it?
Just hardcore skating. There was nothing else to my life. And then, like, all of a sudden they introduced that there could be more, that there's, like, adulting.
Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting that you talked about the pandemic and like with the growth of Kendama. I almost forgot that, but I did mention in the last interview, is that with the pandemic hitting, I think was another double-edged sword where it was positive, negative for the what was going on, but a positive to get a lot of people into it because Sweets and other companies knew what they were doing for advertisement there, like to get more people into it. Like they knew that people are just sitting at home and doing nothing, so why not like push it harder, and not like in like a pushing way, but like let's get it out there because people are going to definitely be into it. And it definitely hit hard, and I think that's how I met a lot of people at the beginning for sure. Like that's kind of when I got into Dama a lot harder as well, because that was almost 3 years ago now. I think so. Some people are saying it's like 2, but I feel like it's been 3.
I know.
But right. But at that time, I met a lot of people like Kendama Mamba, a couple of HBK crew people before they were even them. Some other people that hung out with them and whatnot, but it was really cool. And then Mamba did some live Ken League competitions and stuff, and got a lot of people involved that way. And then I met Gino from Soul Kendamas. Well, he's on Soul now,
Yeah.
but like I met so many like Peach, like Kareem, Peach's Kareem, from hanging out with the Alberta crew, like. Yeah, like I met so many people that were even like almost beginners. Like I'm not saying Kareem was a beginner, but he was definitely just like me in a way. But he's a freaking pro now. He's
Yeah.
like Jared Porter pro. It's crazy. So, and he's looked up to as like a legend. I would say, because he's crazy. Like, but yeah, if the progression in with just COVID happening, it spiked Dama for sure. But like I was saying before, is like there's waves. Like it's been up and then down and up and down. I would say we're kind of at a plateau right now, where like it's in Ontario right now. There's a lot of people, as you heard in the background. Not on the camera, we could hear it, but in the background on camera, the last interview, it was starting to get a little rowdy back like behind me, because there was about 40 people that ended up coming, and that was just
That's
Ontario and Toronto at a Kendama Jam. So that was really cool to see. So it's popular, but it's just chilling out right now, I think, because the winter season's hitting too. So
absolutely. I think that also takes a big like toll. Is like a lot of the people that focus on things like skating or video editing or all that, they have now time to not be outside. They have to be indoors. They have to focus on something. And I know I get bored during the winter. And I think for me, my skill in kendama kind of branches off way more when I'm stuck inside. I have nothing to do. But that's just a given, right? Like that's just people on their own. So in the future for this winter, I plan on starting a club. I'm in school, so I'm going to start a club, get some kids going. Yeah, right. And then hopefully we can get something for them to do in the winter.
That's awesome. No, that's really cool to hear. It's like nothing bad to anyone around me, because if they're listening to this, they're going to be like, oh, he may be talking smack. But it's like, no, but everybody I play with in summertime, it's gung-ho jams. And then when it comes to winter, it seems like everyone's kind of just hiatus.
Oh.
They just... and I think that's actually pretty cool. It's wintertime, let's just like chill out now. They don't play Dama much, like literally throughout the winter season, because they're like, I want to play when it's warm, and they don't like playing inside because they got kids, or they don't want to be like click-clacking with their family inside, which is totally understandable. So it's harder during winter season But with me, I will go underneath a pine tree during a hailstorm with like a board stuck in the tree to block water or anything, so I can get a clip for 28 tricks later or something. And
Oh yeah.
so that can be a crappy thing though with 28 tricks, which a lot of people agree with Canadians is it's winter time for 28 tricks, and like for anyone who does 28 tricks, even like this year or have done it, mad props to the Canadians out there because it's harsh on the hands. It's really harsh on the hands.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And this year they made the kaiju challenge, which I took part in, and that was like my hands are still scarred up from it and shaking. Yeah, it was pretty. It was fun though. I had so much fun using that thing.
Definitely, yeah. It's a workout, like we said too.
I'm gonna combine these next two, and then I'm just gonna hit you with two more, and then we can cut it. Uh, so, do you have any advice for anyone who's just starting, or maybe for up and coming players?
Yeah, I remember that one. I liked that one too. Yeah, like just be you, have fun. And like I said in this one before, it's just a ball and cup. Like I know with people getting into it now, it's really different because people I've gotten into it and like buddies that I know, like even Chris up in BC. It's not definitely not Chris, but like I know that there's other people out there that just almost got that mentality that there's like I got to be on a team. I have to be a part of something. Not like something. A collective is great. Be a part of like a crew, like a team. But like people want to be sponsored. They want to be a pro. So like I've been asked many times like how did you get to be a pro and like blah 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 blah, and it's just like I'm definitely not, but I get the podium that I'm on in a sense with being with Sweets Canada. That like if you're sponsored and you're getting free things in a sense and like discounts and a code and whatnot, you're a pro. And it's like I would say like in a happy like a different way, like cool, I'll take that. I'm a pro because I'm just being me in a creative way by just having fun, just doing me, like trying to do outside the box tricks here and there. Of course, that I'm trying to like unlock the spamming tricks like quad taps and like 10 jug spikes and stuff. Like
Yeah,
who doesn't want to unlock those type of grinds? But I don't think it's good to like push yourself hard. Like this is again back on new people seeing pros. They're like being like I gotta do trip tap right away. It's like no, like you can literally just do a round like around Japan or cupping or like do it everything but that even. And like that's the cool thing with people that I got into in the past that blew my mind. They did stuff that I would never even think of because we all have different mindsets as well. But they would do stuff that would be like totally untraditional, and it's like, yeah, you can do that. Like you're a pro. Like I've told so many people that too. After they've done stuff that I've never even thought of, I'm like, you're a pro. Like I'm not a pro. Like I'm not just a pro then. Like geez, like you calling me a pro? Like you're you're crazy. Like if you can like so, it's really cool. Like cool that like people getting into it. They wanna get into that, like want to be sponsored and stuff like that. It's definitely like it pushes someone to like do something like if they really want to do it. But for people who are even just wanting to play with it for fun, if they see people like taking it too serious, they're going to be deterred from wanting to play with it, right? So I think for just introducing someone that even that comes on the like that's on the street and comes to one of our jams, just do something basic in front of them to introduce them to it and make them feel like that's what you can do, and let them branch off in whatever they want to do, like and let it's all for fun.
absolutely. Like a lighthouse will look just as mind blowing as a triple tap to someone who's never seen it before. Like Kendama is a
Yeah.
vessel for self expression, is what I always lead with.
Yeah, it's always really good. I've got carried away in the past from doing like crazy tricks because I'm like, I want to amaze them, but I feel like I've deterred some people from doing that. Where I've not saying like dumbed down, but yeah, like I've brought it down. Where if I see some new people come by and they're like, "Whoa, what is that?" I just start going cut, 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 and then put it down and then spike it. And from that point, when they realize you can spike it, it's like like you can there's a hole in that, and then you get into a cool conversation about it. So, but yeah, no, for anyone getting into it, just have fun, be you. You'll be surprised what could happen from just doing that. Like, I feel like it's really hard these days again because like people feel like they're so pressured to do something crazy, like do a crazy banger or something like. But you could probably do something that like no one's ever seen, and you were just having fun and being you, and then you could become a pro because you just invented a crazy trick as someone that everyone's like, "How did you do that?" And you're like, "Just having fun, man."
Just having fun.
So it can happen. So just have fun. Just like Boo Johnson said. Johnson says.
Right? That's exactly. I keep that mod always. That's my favorite one, man, from the like Sweets mob. That's a beautiful one.
Yep.
This one's kind of fun, but do you have any final words real quick before we let you go? I'm going to hit you with one more after this.
No. I love this. Sorry if I get really in depth in my talking, but I think I said that before. But that's what we're here.
I don't know about you, but after like I talk about Kendama for a long time, I just go into like a mean session, go really hard. Yeah.
This is a Dama sesh. Yeah, like I watch Dama nerds and listen to other podcasts, and they break it down like this is a Dama sesh right now. Right. Like this is.
I am planning to upload this onto my channel, so if you ever want to watch this back, you can. Or like I always put stuff on for background, and this is definitely going to be one of them. But
absolutely,
here's my favorite question I love to ask people. I'm going to start asking it more. What's the worst trick in Kendama?
I guess for me, and maybe it's just right now because I feel like I'm clicking into them a bit more. But I think it's just because how the Kens and everything are upgrading so much, like the cups are getting fatter and stuff, where I'm able to do it. I hate backflips.
Oh,
I really hate backflips. Like the traditional inward lunar and then doing a backflip, and it does seem really easy, but it's the turn's easy for me, of course, but it's that getting in like catching. Yeah, it's like a weird swoop without doing that motion for any. No one sees it like that. Like when I see a player doing a backflip, it looks like they're literally just keeping it still, like they're not doing. But for me, I'm like, I gotta like cradle catch it, like
I'm getting underneath it. I know exactly what you mean.
Like I got one last night. I'm gonna post it on my story today. But it was a weird type of backflip. But yeah, I had to swoop into it, and then I even moved over it, and then had to like, balance it out and keep it stable, and then I had it. But like, backflips are very challenging, and to see people who can do it with ease is mind blowing. But that was with me in what's the tray flips?
Oh yeah.
I thought trays were just bonkers, but my buddy Joe Kovac from Toronto, he's like the king at trays. Like he was at a point doing a tray a day on his story, and he was just getting bored because he could do it no problem. So like he's the type, he can do like quad tray. It's crazy, but he taught me. He broke it down to me how to do it properly, and I can do it, but not like proficiently. Like I can get about 70% of the time, but it was a trick that I was like, when I tried at first, before I was like, nope, I'm not even gonna try it anymore. So, but like backflips, that's one of them too. If someone's watching this and we're gonna play a game of Ken against each other, you're gonna kill me with backflips.
Just backflips. Just only backflips.
Just do backflips.
I love it, man. Hey, I want to thank you again for doing this. I'm sorry I couldn't do the first one, but I really appreciate coming again.
No, that's great. No, I'm glad that we're kind of more set up in a solidified spot. Like for me at least, like I'm in a room with the lighting and everything. Like before, I felt so bad. I'm like, man, I got so many people. It's cool that like the people in the back were all Kendama players, and that was the vibe. But I'm trying to like put my ear against the phone, and it's like,
yeah.
No, I'm glad I got like stationary setup that we could do this.
Me too. I was out of my house. I did not feel comfortable. I didn't have any of my equipment or my Kendamas, so just appreciate it so much, man.
Yeah, man. No, I appreciate you, man. No, I really do. So anytime you want to chat again, feel free, and I'm down.
Well, we'll have to set this up again.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I hope you have a good weekend. And to everybody watching, cheers and have fun.
Hey, thanks, man. Have a good one.
You too. Take care.